from Cleveland's most accurate weather team. This is 19 First Alert Plus, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
And good morning, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Taking a look at our weather picture, we do have to tell you about a first alert weather day that is on our radar, literally, and this is for tomorrow. We'll talk about that in just a second. A live look into downtown Cleveland, already 75 degrees. I like this shot because if you look on the right side, you can see the lights of Progressive Field. There is a double header today. With the Kansas City Royals. Going to be a little warm out there today, even warmer tomorrow. Jeff, explain for our viewers. I'm sure everybody knows by now, but you guys can designate certain days first alert days. And what is that about?
Yeah, we do that just to give you a heads up, like at a certain time frame here. You're looking at, a big disruption regarding the weather and potentially even dangerous. We do it with severe storms. We'll do it with, of course, during winter, big winter storms, winter events. And in this case, it's going to be for excessive heat. So every alert day has their own, I always like to say, every alert day has their own personality to it here. Some alert days are worse than others with the weather here. But tomorrow, it's going to be for excessive heat here. And what do I mean by that? As we go to the graphic here, I think tomorrow we could be looking at air temperatures 90 to 95. It's going to be a much warmer week overall. That's the case today. Tomorrow, we're even going to kick it up a notch or two here. But when you factor in the humidity level with the air temperature 90 to 95, that's where we potentially could be seeing that heat index in that 95 to 100 degree range. Now, we've seen this before, a lot of kids are back at school, and if your school doesn't have air conditioning, I'm not saying it's going to be every school that doesn't have air conditioning. It depends on the superintendent and whether or not the Weather Service issues heat advisories later today here, but there's a chance that your school could be closed if you don't have air conditioning because those classrooms are going to be mighty hot. It's already that way today, even more so tomorrow. And then even Wednesday, we think could be a pretty hot day as well here. So that's why we have the alert day going. In this heat, okay, we call this the heat dome. We have to also watch out for these rounds of rain and storms. And we saw a few rounds in far northeast Ashtabula County. You see that there in northwest Pennsylvania. Looks like that is weakening though. So right now we are dry, and I think it's going to be mainly dry today. Don't see a big trigger to get storms going, at least not yet. But today's high, 89, partly cloudy, warm, and humid. That heat index today, perhaps sneaking up a little bit above 90. We won't really classify that as excessive heat. And then in the Akron-Canton area, you're up to 89 as well. So what's going on? Why the big pattern shift here? Because last week it was cool. We had a touch of fall weather here, but it's a different story. Big pattern flip, and all you got to do is look at the Muggy meter forecast here, and you can see today, tomorrow, we're in that humid zone. Wednesday, tropical. Wednesday's going to be pretty thick around here. So this is the overall setup, okay? We have what we call a heat dome, and what that is, it's a big upper level area of high pressure, and you can see how far the jet stream is to the north. It is way to the north. So with the exception of parts of New York State and New England, where we have that dip in the jet stream, that's where it's still, pretty cool. Everybody else, eastern half of the country, we are in this heat and things are heating up fast. You can see we're at 75, Chicago 80. It's actually going to be a little hotter west of us here. But then we also have, riding along the outer edge or the periphery of this heat dome, well, that's where we get thunderstorms. And today and tonight, it's going to be mainly focused here in southern Minnesota, parts of South Dakota here, Wisconsin, northern Iowa. So this is where we expect severe weather today. And we'll have to watch because eventually we will see the potential of these thunderstorms. So that's another aspect to this here. You saw that, well, let me show you this. We saw that surface cold front that is moving across Minnesota and South Dakota. We're going to watch out for this here on Wednesday. So that's when we could see higher chances of storms. All right, so when you look at First Alert Future View late this afternoon, mainly dry. If you're going to that Guards game, either the one this afternoon at 1:10 or the one this evening at 6:40, it's going to be warm. It's going to be sticky out there, and a warm and a humid night ahead. Now, watch what happens tomorrow. We try to get a cluster of storms in here, but it kind of fizzles out here. Okay, it's going to be all about the heat, I think, mainly tomorrow. But then watch what happens tomorrow night here. You see that right there? So that is tomorrow night, early Wednesday, where we could be looking at a couple rounds of thunderstorms at that time here. And then we're going to have to watch on Wednesday. That heat index forecast tomorrow, well, there you go in the afternoon. Mid-90s around here, but I think Wednesday's going to be hot as well. We may be actually activating another alert day on Wednesday for not only the heat, but a risk of early morning storms. And then again, Wednesday night, Wednesday evening here, Dan, those storms, you know, because of the heat and humidity, it's going to be very unstable. Those storms could be heavy. So it's going to be an interesting week of weather around here. The challenge, of course, is trying to time out when the best risks of storms will be. And right now we're thinking Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, and then again Wednesday evening. That's what the latest data is telling us.
And we're pretty practiced at this here in Northeast Ohio. You get these hot days, stuff can bubble up, tropical, we know what can happen. We're going to take a 15-second pause, and Jeff's going to get to our temperature trend.
I've represented families just like yours for over 4 decades. Listen, if you need me, call me. You know I'll be there for you, and I'll make them pay. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye out for you.
And take it away with our temperature trend, and it's pretty steady, but there are some changes way out on the horizon.
Right. That's the big question, is when do we see the next pattern change here? I can tell you this, though, basically today right through Friday, it's going to be warm and sticky. Now, we got a little drop there on Thursday with a little front that comes through Wednesday night, Wednesday evening. That's why, you know, we have the chances of storms kind of going up for a time midweek. But today, 89 the high. Tomorrow, 92. Wednesday, we're going to be up around 90. You know, you can see Thursday, 85. Friday, near 90. And then, well, there's the next pattern change. Just in time for the holiday weekend here, where we do trend cooler and less humid. So today, call it partly cloudy, warm, humid. We'll drop to 68 tonight. Tomorrow's high 92, but that heat index well in the 90s in spots. First Alert weather day for that. Early Wednesday morning and then again Wednesday evening. Could see some rounds of storms, potentially heavy, and then real humid on Wednesday here. Boy, Wednesday's going to be a thick day, 90. Thursday, we kept it dry. More clouds than sun, but still humid, 85. Now, Friday night, we're going to have to watch out for this. For the stuff going on Friday evening, we may get some storms going. That's going to be another front. That's going to be a stronger front. Friday's high near 90. But then look what happens over the holiday weekend here, okay? Saturday, partly cloudy, 81, less humid. Sunday, 82. And then look at Labor Day. We may be talking about temps in the low 70s on Labor Day itself there. So a lot of stuff happening, of course, this weekend. The Air Show, Oktoberfest, just to name a few. Labor Day weekend, lots to talk about there. But before that happens, we have heat, humidity, Dan, and rounds of storms every once in a while that the team's going to be watching.
We know it's going to be a busy week for you. I'm beer judging Friday night out at Oktoberfest. Hey, 89 degrees and beer judging. That's a good combination as long as the rain stays away. And as you mentioned, the air show, phenomenal air show, takes place every year here in Northeast Ohio for the Labor Day weekend. 19 First Alert meteorologist Jeff Tanchek, thanks for checking in.
All right, have fun at that beer judging.
Yeah, it's tough work. But it's serious work. It's serious
It
work.
is.
You got to
yeah.
tell the people what the good beer is.
And you do that.
All right, later, man. That's going to wrap it up for us here. Look at our weather picture. Another live look into downtown, 75 degrees as the Guardians get ready for their doubleheader in downtown. If we have any other breaking news, it's going to be right here on our digital platforms. Otherwise, look for our 11 o'clock news just about an hour away on CW43, then our noon news on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News. Have a great day out there.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media at Cleveland 19 News.